A new Netflix series is poised to take the streaming world by storm, and it's called Pieces of Her. The series tells the story of how a young woman's conception of her mother is forever changed when a Saturday afternoon trip to the mall with her mother suddenly explodes into violence. Starring Toni Collette, David Wellham, and Bella Heathcote, Pieces of Her is a show you'll definitely want to keep an eye on. So stay tuned, don't go away, because Pieces of Her is a Netflix thriller that asks, what if your mom was John Wick? First up, who is Karin Slaughter? Let's take a look. Karin Slaughter is the author of the 2018 novel Pieces of Her. Netflix adapted the book, an amazing series about how we never really know our own parents. We might think that we have them all figured out, but if you think about it, our parents lived a whole life before we were born. And one can argue that this means they have a lifetime of secrets that we don't know about. Or, in the case of Pieces of Her, a secret that a parent was once an expert trained assassin. On January 25th, news broke that this thrilling series would be set for a March 4th release date, and it's guaranteed to give you a dreadful feeling of what would happen if you learned that people you think you know were something else entirely. At the helm of this groundbreaking series is executive producer Charlotte Stoudt. The plot's fairly basic, but as we've seen time and time again when it comes to amazing films or TV shows, oftentimes less is more. Sometimes keeping it simple is really the way to go. In Pieces of Her, the character Andy Oliver, played by actor Bella Heathcote from Professor Marston and the Wonder Woman, is celebrating her 31st birthday, and her mother, Laura, played by actor Toni Collette, find themselves in a terrifying and potentially lethal situation when an active shooter opens fire at a shopping mall. But to Andy's surprise, Laura reacts and violently stops the shooter dead in his tracks. Cell phone captures the ordeal on video, and a video of the shocking event subsequently goes viral. Video causes Laura and Andy to become famous essentially, but unfortunately catches the attention of some dangerous people from Laura's past life that Andy never knew about. Next up, who are the other cast members of this wild new series? Let's have a look. In addition to starring Australian actor Toni Collette, who you might remember from such films as The Sixth Sense, Shaft, Hereditary, and Knives Out, you've got the lovely actor Bella Heathcote, but also actor David Wellham, who rose to fame from his performances in The Lord of the Rings. The Lobster actor Jessica Barden is on the show, Game of Thrones Joe Dempsey, Army of the Dead star Omari Hardwick, and American Vandal star Caleb Worthy. Those who have read the book know that the story is completely off the rails, and if Netflix has successfully adapted the book into a series that even closely resembles the book, then fans know they're in for an explosive treat. When it was published in 2018, Pieces of Her immediately earned rave reviews from film critics across the United States. The critic comments on Karin Slaughter's stylistic writing choices, specifically her use of prose. According to one critic, Slaughter's writing made readers feel like the story's pumping adrenaline directly into the reader's bloodstreams. To tease us, Netflix released several still images from the series that show the world of Slaughter's book come to life in live-action format, and it looks intense. Up next, what shows are similar to Pieces of Her that you'll want to see? You're about to find out. If you're a thriller fan, you may wish to consider the series Criminal Minds. The series explores the cases of the FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit, BAU, an elite group of profilers who analyze the nation's most dangerous serial killers and individual heinous crimes in an effort to anticipate their next moves before they strike again. Criminal Minds enjoyed a hugely popular and successful run from 2005 to 2020 and can be binge-watched on various streaming platforms. Much like Pieces of Her, we guarantee you that the riveting elements of Criminal Minds scratch your itch for thrilling entertainment. Another series in the vein of Pieces of Her is the literally out-of-this-world show Supernatural. Like Criminal Minds, Supernatural aired from 2005 to 2020, tells the story of two brothers following in their father's footsteps as hunters fighting evil supernatural beings of many kinds, including monsters, demons, and gods that roam the earth. And if thrills is what you're after, check out the show Omniscient. Omniscient tells the story of a city where citizens are monitored 24/7. Tech employee must outsmart her surveillance drone in order to investigate a murder. Omniscient is a new show that first aired in 2020, so there's no telling where the series will go. Stay tuned, don't go away, because we're revealing more shows that are in the vein of Pieces of Her that you definitely don't want to miss. Next up, what other binge-worthy shows should you watch right now? You're about to find out. Another show you'll want to see is the hit series Manifest, which first aired in 2018. Manifest tells the the story of a commercial airliner suddenly reappearing after being missing for 5 years. As those aboard reintegrate into society, they experience guiding voices and visions of events yet to occur, and soon a deeper mystery unfolds. Much like the mystery of Andy finding out her mother Laura is some sort of deadly assassin with a hidden secret in Pieces of Her, manifests as so many unanswered questions. It'll keep you on the edge of your seat as you struggle to figure out what happened to the passengers of Flight 828. And if you haven't already, check out this series, Medical Police. The series follows two American physicians in Sao Paulo, Brazil, that discover a possible world-ending virus and are recruited as government agents in a race against time and around the world to discover a cure and uncover a dark conspiracy. One show that features an endless supply of adrenaline-pumping thrills is the hit series Law & Order Special Victims Unit, a spin-off from the original Law & Order series. Special Victims Unit follows a specially trained squad of detectives in the NYPD who investigate sexually related crimes. The dramatic series takes you through the underbelly of New York sex crimes and often takes shocking twists and turns. Up next, would a dramatic series that takes you inside a courtroom tantalize your palate? Let's take a look. You might think that courtroom dramas are snoozers, and sometimes that can be true. However, this is certainly not the case with the series All Rise. The series aired from 2019 to 2022 and essentially takes a deep dive into the chaotic, hopeful, and sometimes absurd lives of judges, prosecutors, and public defenders as they work with bailiffs, clerks, and cops to get justice for the people of Los Angeles amidst a flawed legal process. Among them is newly appointed Judge Lola Carmichael, a highly regarded and respected public servant, tries to shake things up a bit. One critic called the series wildly entertaining, but if you're looking for a series that's dark and gritty, take a look at In the Dark. The show tells the story of a blind 20-something named Murphy who drifts through life in a haze of drunkenness, and her only friends are her understanding roommate Jess and Tyson, sweet teenagers she met when she saved her from a violent mugging. Sadly, one of Murphy's friends is murdered, and she sets out to solve it all on her own. In addition to All Rise and In the Dark, a new series that's similar to Pieces of Her in terms of thrills is called Snowpiercer. The series is set more than 7 years after the world has become a frozen wasteland. The series centers on the remaining people who inhabit a gigantic, perpetually moving train that circles the globe. If you haven't seen Snowpiercer yet, do yourself a favor, give it a binge. Finally, a few more thrilling shows like Pieces of Her that you won't want to miss. Let's talk about Grand Army. The show tells the story of 5 students at the largest public high school in Brooklyn who take on a chaotic world as they fight to succeed, survive, break free, and seize the future. Since the show first aired in 2020, it's been very well received by audiences, but if true crime is your thing, then you have to check out Dirty John, which first aired in 2018. Dirty John's actually a true crime anthology series that explores the theme of love gone wrong, set against the backdrop of sunny Southern California. In the course of each season, viewers can follow a relationship from promising beginning to catastrophic end. Lastly, you have to check out the series Treadstone, an action-packed thriller that follows the infamous Black Ops program, Operation Treadstone. The series first aired in 2019, and as you may recall, the Treadstone project was responsible for creating spy Jason Bourne. In the series, the program turns its attention to a new protocol that'll develop new and unstoppable superhuman assassins. That's a wrap for today's video, folks. Thank you for watching until the end.